Nice to meet you guys. So I actually finished the movie this morning. I watched the first half last night and then I finished it this morning, and I've been in the best mood ever since because it's just one of those movies that like puts a big smile on your face. And I know why I love it, but I would love to hear you both tell me like what drew you to this story and your characters as well. So Dennis, you're on my left. So let's start with Dennis.
Okay, well, the reason I loved it is the camaraderie that it invoked. We all had a great time. Even the guys that were playing like quote unquote bad guys or whatever, we got in and it was like playtime. And we had the set that was completely, I mean, we felt like we were in a factory, you know? So all the things that could possibly go on in a factory and the way you deal with each other. And, but the camaraderie of it was fantastic. And above that, we had a lot of fun.
Cool. And so speaking on that, Matt, it was fun watching your character change throughout the movie. And sort of start off as this kind of not so nice person and then warm up a little bit as the film went on. So talk about that and talk about like your character and what that meant for you.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk and he just wanted the status quo. He's somebody who got elevated, you know, in the business world, and he learned to just keep your head down and don't get corporate coming in here to supervise what we're up to. So Richard coming in with his ideas is, you know, it's a threat to his power, basically. And it was, like Dennis said, it was really fun. And the whole world we lived in was just sort of like, you know, actor camp. You could just pretend that it was all happening and sort of live spontaneously in these moments. And that's nice as an actor, because it's not like, say your line, all right, do that line again. Like we were doing long scenes and sort of improvising things. And Eva was very, concerned about the reality and the interaction between the people. So it was really fun to play that, and it was nice to have him sort of become an ally for Richard in the end, for to sort of pitch in and just back off the wave of, like, you know, his, I guess, white privilege. He let go of it.
So you mentioned Eva, and I do want to talk about Eva because, you know, most of us know Eva as an actress, which she's great as, but she directed this film and did amazing. So talk about working with Eva as a director.
Dennis.
Go ahead. I don't know who you want us to, who wants.
Oh, Dennis, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, Eva is, as you say, you know, she's a great actress, and I like being directed by actors because they have an affinity and a love for actors. So you felt that when you went on set. You know, she's always gracious, always a sweetheart, and she knew what she wanted, and she let you explore, and you know, do what you needed to do and do what you wanted to do, and she just wanted to be. She wanted it to be authentic. So the authenticity came through, and she was just like, well, I mean this in the best possible way. She was like a great cheerleader, you know, who knew camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Matt, do you want to expand on that at all?
I like Dennis, agree. Like a director who knows what it is to be an actor, it's a pleasure to work with them because they're very concerned about what you're concerned about, or they can relate to it. Obviously, they're juggling everything else. And it made me think of, we had these informal rehearsals at Eva's house, and that's one of the first times I met Dennis. And I remember like sitting at a kitchen table, and Dennis and Jesse had a scene that they were working out or figuring out. And I remember being impressed, like how Dennis just went for it in this kitchen table and was like very emotional about something. And I was just really impressed with, you know, like that's a good actor. Like they just go for it right away. Like, so it was an enjoyable, I was impressed by Dennis, but it was also an enjoyable process. Like, oh, everybody's just like,
thank you.
let's just go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
Dennis,
That's
were you
great.
going to say something?
Yeah, I
No, I
remember
was
that.
just saying thank you. Yeah, because I don't know how not to do that.
Well,
You
it's
know?
fun. And I always like, because it was like the first rehearsal. Like, you know how sometimes it takes, for me, it might take me 3 or 4 times to become vulnerable. And I just remember being impressed, like, holy shit, he's in it. Like, it was uncomfortable a little bit, you know? So that was fun though to be in, because everyone's playing and they're in it. So it's like, all right, you got plenty to feed off of, which I love, because then you can give it back and, you know.
Totally. And was there a lot of improv on set happening?
Um, I don't know. Not for me so much. I mean, we had these lines that we had to get out, and the things that we were dealing with, the machinery and everything else. Because I started off pretty reluctantly accepting this guy Montanez. Say, who are you, man? You're coming to take the only job I have, and that's the way my thought process was. Says, oh no, here comes the new guy who's trying to ingratiate himself and take my job. And because I mean, if you go into I don't know, I really didn't get the depth of my character until I met the real Richard Montanez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he told me some things about my character that really kind of blew my mind. And I said, whoa, so why wasn't this in the movie? And he said, well, because it would be a different movie.
Yeah. Wow.
Like,
So did he have a big hand in making the movie what it was for you guys?
no, he just sort of corroborated what we had already developed with it. Or at least that was, the case for me.
Yeah, and I think similarly, like, it's a tremendous asset to have Richard on set, because you get all this background about the time and his struggle and what the factory was like. So it just supports, and it's a tremendous resource to have. And also to have the hero on set makes you more committed to, like, oh, I really want to make this right, because it's his story. So it's like, boy, we better not screw this up a little bit.
Yeah, a little intimidating. Yeah,
a little bit. The presence of that, a legend to us, because he's the guy we're making the story about. You want to make sure that you execute it as best as you can.
Okay, so last question. It's very important.
Otherwise, I would have phoned it in and just gone to Top Golf.
Yeah, you just would have you done a terrible job.
If Richard wasn't, if Richard wasn't on set, I would just phone it in and take naps and pull prima
I'm sure
donna
Eva
stuff.
would love to hear that too. Yeah. So, was there any actual eating of Cheetos on set?
Absolutely.
What I really want to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The actual, like, was there a variety, or was it the Flamin Hot Cheetos? You guys were just like eating them all day long.
Well, I don't know about all day long. I mean, my stomach lining would go.
Right.
But no, there was a lot of Cheetos consumed on this set. Yes.
Yeah, and I do remember in the factory they had to keep reminding people, don't eat the ones that are on the line, because they'd been sprayed with something to keep them rigid. Because they looked so delectable, and they were like, no, don't eat those. Don't eat them.
Don't eat those, and they're glued on.
Yeah, they got glue on them or something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I mean, Matt, I'm very glad you didn't phone it in.
Thank you.
Because it was a great movie.
Thank you.
And I had such a fun time watching it, and a fun time talking with you guys today. And I think it's been about 10 minutes. So I'm going to let you go. I could listen to you guys talk about this all day, but I won't do that to you. So it was awesome meeting you guys and talking to you about this. Thank you so much.
Great meeting you.
Nice to meet you, Cass.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Cassie.
Bye. Thank you so much.